everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube station, and we're going to bring you some of our Beatles Eternally All-Decade Tournament, 1930s versus the 1960s, Game 2 of the best-of-3 first round. The 1960s won Game 1. And again, this tournament is brought to you by Beatles Eternally. The all-decade teams battle one another for the ultimate prize, the Decade World Series, from the 1800s to the 2000s. Play ball. On the mound for the 30s decade team, Lefty Grove will be going up against Bob Gibson for the 60s decade team. Once again, the 60 decade leads the 30 decade 1-0. I'll be managing the 60s decade team as I did in Game 1. The computer will take control of the 30s decade team. Let's get to the lineups. Get the ball game starting. We're using Action PC Baseball 18, a wonderful game. If you do have Action PC Baseball, there is a sale. Dave Koch has a sale. Seasons dropped from $19 to $8, and they have a sale on, I think, every sport, because I think I'm going to pick up some golf. They have a golf course with all the best 18 holes. I think I'm going to pick that up. For $4, you can't go wrong. And I think I might complete my Beatles Eternally's in the chat. How are you, my friend? Magician extraordinaire, musician extraordinaire, and all-around fine gent. And as you know and I know, soon to be knighted by the Queen. Alright, let's make sure we have our preferences set, and that I am managing the 1960 decade team. I think I did that correctly. Yes, the computer has the 30 decade team, and I'm managing the 60s. Alright, let's get to the starting lineups and play ball. For the 1930s decade, leading off, playing second base, Charlie Gehringer, his year of choice, 1935. So when I tell you the stats, they're from 1935. Batting second, playing right field, Paul Wagner, 1930. Batting third, the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig, 1931. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Al Simmons, 1930. Batting fifth, doing the catcher, Bill Dickey, 1933. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Freddie Lindstrom, 1930. The center fielder, batting seventh, Earl Averill, 1935. Batting eighth, Luke Aplin, playing shortstop, 1937. Batting ninth, doing the pitching, Lefty Grove, 1930. For the 1960 decade team, leading off, playing right field, Roberto Clemente, 1967. Batting second, the second baseman, Bobby Richardson, 1960. Batting third, the left fielder, Frank Robinson, 1962. Batting fourth, the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays, 1960. Batting fifth, the Baby Bull, Orlando Cepeda, 1962. Batting sixth, the catcher, Elston Howard, 1961. Batting seventh, playing third base, the human vacuum cleaner, Brooks Robinson, 1965. Batting eighth, getting a start at shortstop, Jim Fregosi, 1966. Batting ninth, on the hill, doing the pitching, Bob Gibson, 1969. So Bob Gibson, in 1969, 20 wins, 11 losses, 2.40 earned run average, striking out 247, walking 89. Strange that he didn't use his 68 stats, but they used 69 in this. And once again, thank you to Beatles Eternally for gifting me this file. It's an absolutely wonderful file. And Beatles in the chat says, been working on Magic all night. Hands are tied. Boom, boom, boom. Beatles Eternally. Luke Appling had a great nickname. Old Aches and Pains. Beatles Eternally is the dead ball era. Even though the 30s I don't consider dead ball, but you know, he likes the earlier. He loves baseball, but he's really knowledgeable with the dead ball up to the 30s, 40s, and beyond. But he really enjoys that era of baseball, which is awesome because you get to talk to someone and learn things. So that's always good. All right. So Gibson on the mound. Behind the plate, Elston Howard, 8 out of 10 defense, 5 out of 10 arm. At third base, Brooks Robinson, 10 out of 10. He's a vacuum cleaner. Fergosi's at short, 8 out of 10. Richardson, 9 out of 10 at second. And the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda, 6 out of 10 at first. Frank Robinson's playing left field because we inserted Roberto Clemente in right. And he's 5 out of 10 defensively in left with a 6 out of 10 arm. It's the same in right field, so no big change there. Robinson playing right or left, no difference. Willie Mays, 10 out of 10 for both arm and defensive ability. Absolutely outstanding to say, hey kid. Then the same with the legendary Roberto Clemente, who died way too soon in a plane crash while delivering humanitarian aid to earthquake victims. I believe it was Nicaragua. He's 10 out of 10 defense, 10 out of 10 arm. Max Cornelius has joined us in the chat. How are you, Max? Hope all is well. Check out that wonderful channel, Max Cornelius' channel. He has a Mark McGuire replay going using Action PC. Has a game up there. All right, at the plate for the 30s decade team, Charlie Gehringer, getting his first start at second base. Did not play in game 1. 339 in his year of choice. 16 homers, 108 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. He's a good bunter, 7 out of 10. So we're going to play our corners in. Robinson in at third, Cepeda in at first. Gibson gets the sign from Howard. He's going to go aggressive at Gehringer. Here's the pitch. And line shot, Cepeda makes the catch. Great reaction by Orlando Cepeda. The baby bull was more like a cat. 1 down. And that will bring up Paul Wainer. He's batting .250 in this playoff tournament with no home runs, 1 RBI. 383, 14 homers, 94 runs batted. Another left-handed batter. 7 out of 10 bunter. Again, we will bring our corners in. Brooks Robinson in at third. Cepeda the cat, a.k.a. the baby bull, in at first. Gibson nods his head. Elston Howard sets the target. Again, we're going to go aggressive. Here's the pitch to Wainer. And he sends that ball to Willie Mays in right center field, and he makes the catch. 2 down. And that'll bring up the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. Gehrig batting .400 with 2 RBIs, no home runs. 369, 33 home runs, 164 runs batted in. Another left-handed stick. 6 out of 10 bunter, but we're going to play our infield and outfield straightaway and normal. Gibson nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Gehrig. Ground ball up the middle. Richardson backhands it. Throws to Cepeda's side. Retired 1-2-3 goal of 30s. And here come the 1960 decade team. It'll be Roberto Clemente, followed by Richardson and Frank Robinson. Roberto Clemente getting his first start in Game 2 of this best-of-3 series, Round 1 of the tournament. Brought to you by Beatles Eternally. It is called the Beatles Eternally All-Decade Tournament. 330, 19 homers and 87 runs driven in. 7 out of 10 bunter. But it looks like the 30s decade team will play straight away in normal. Lefty Groves on the mound. Lefty. 21 wins, 8 losses, 5 saves. Or they calculated 5 saves. Saves are not a statistical number back in the 30s. 2.53 earned run average, striking out 157, walking 62. Behind the plate, You have Bill Dickey, 8 out of 10 defensive ability, 6 out of 10 arm. Lindstrom is at third, and then he's 5 out of 10 defense. Luke Appling, 7 out of 10 defense at short. Gehringer, 8 out of 10 at second, and Lou Gehrig, 7 out of 10 at first. In left field, Al Simmons, 7 out of 10 defense, 6 out of 10 arm. Center, Earl Averill, 5 out of 10 defense and arm. And in right, Paul Wainer, 8 out of 10 defense, 7 out of 10 arm. Let's quickly go to the chat. Max Cornelius says he's doing alright. He's asked how I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can. Thank you for asking, my friend. Beatles says Paul and Lloyd Wainer's nicknames were Big Poison and Little Poison, respectively. They were both superb outfielders and were poison to any ball hit their way. Good stuff by Beatles Eternally in the chat. Thank you very much, Beatles. Good friend of the channel as well as Max Cornelius. So here's Roberto Clemente. He's swinging away. Lefty Grove picks up the sign from Bill Dickey. Here's the pitch to Clemente. And that's a shot to right field. It'll be a leadoff single for Roberto Clemente. 7 out of 10 base runner. Lou Gehrig will hold him on. Here comes Bobby Richardson, the Yankee. Richardson getting his first start of the series. 280, 6 homers, 47 runs batting, 10 out of 10 bunter, 10 out of 10 hit and run. We're going to play some hit and run here. There goes Clemente. Richardson swings. Dribbler down to Gehrig. He'll take it to the bag himself for out number 1, but Clemente's in scoring position. Acts just like a sacrifice with a better chance of getting a hit. So 1 out, Clemente's at second. For Frank Robinson. All games in this tournament are being played at the beautiful Camden Yards. And here's Frank Robinson. Robinson, 333. He had 2 home runs in game 1, drove in 5 runs. Outstanding for Frank Robinson, the first, would later become the first African-American manager for the Cleveland Indians in the major leagues, and it was for the Cleveland Indians. 333, 39 homers, 104 runs batted in for Robinson. Clemente takes his lead. Lefty Grove peeks over his shoulder. Now picks up the sign from Dickey. Here's the pitch to Frank Robinson. Robinson swings. That ball is going to left center field. Simmons cuts it off. Will they wait? Clemente. Clemente with a 51% chance of scoring. He will be held. So runners on the corners. Clemente at third. Robinson at first. And here comes a say hey kid, Willie Mays. Mays 250. No home runs. No RBIs in this playoff series. 332. 43 homers, 112 runs batted in. Chance to give the 60s decade an early lead here. Lefty Grove picks up the sign from Bill Dickey. Dickey sets the target. Here's the pitch to Mays. Mays swings, sends that ball to Simmons, and Lefty makes the catch. Clemente goes back to tag, 83% chance. We're sending him. Here comes the throw. It's cut off by Lindstrom. 1-0 60 decade team. As Clemente tags up on the fly ball by Mays. Mays will get an RBI. 2 outs. Robinson at first. Gehrig holding him on. He'll be off on contact. The baby bull. Great defensive play. Drawn in corners off of the Gehringer in the top of the first. Now he has a chance to extend the inning here with 2 outs. Robinson's at first. Cepeda 200, 1 home run, 1 ribby. 324, 34 homers, 109 runs batted in. Right-handed power hitting first baseman will face Lefty Grove. Grove nods his head. The big windup, the pitch to Cepeda. Cepeda swings, sends that ball out to left. Simmons is there, makes the catch, side retired. But the 60s decade scores 1 on the sac fly by Willie Mays. We go to the top of the second, 1-0 60s decade over the 30 decade team. Due up for the 30s, Simmons, Dickey, and Lindstrom. Al Simmons was 0 for 4 in game 1. 361, 25 home runs, 131 runs batted in. Right-handed batter, 7 out of 10 bunter. And we're going to have to respect that. Corners come in. Robinson in at third, that's Brooks Robinson. And Cepeda in at first. Gibson will go aggressive against Simmons. Howard sets the target. Gibson rocks and fires. Simmons fouls it back. It counts now 0 balls, 2 strikes. Gibson's ready to work. He deals again. Simmons swings, line shot to deep center field. Willie Mays, a burst of speed, makes the catch, robbing Simmons of extra bases. What a catch by Willie Mays. Watch that burst of speed at the end. There it is. Looks like some extra bases. And right there, Willie Mays turns on the Jets. 1 out. The say hey kid. Wonderful play. So 1 out, no one on for Bill Dickey, 7 out of 10 bunter. We're going to play our infield outfield normal though. Not moving our corners in this time. Elston Howard wiggles the fingers. Bob Gibson nods his head. Here's the pitch to Dickey. Strikes him out! 2 up, 2 down for the 30s decade team. And that will bring up Freddie Lindstrom, 250. No home runs, no RBIs. 345, 12 homers, 77 runs driven in. Right-handed batter. He faced the right-handed throwing Bob Gibson. Gibson throwing fire today. He's ready to work. Here's the pitch to Lindstrom. Oh, he came inside and he nailed him. Came a little too close. And Lindstrom feels that. Obviously, a fastball from Gibby is going to hurt. That's going to leave a mark. But he shakes it off, waves off the trainer, and goes to first base. Tying runs at first. 7 out of 10 base running ability. 55% chance of stealing. Second, Cepeda will hold him on. And here comes Earl Averill. Averil's getting his first start. 318, 21 homers, 112 runs batted in. 1 swing of the bat, and the 30s decade team could take the lead 2-1. Gibson looks to first. Here's the pitch to Averill. Fly ball out to Willie Mays. That's traveling a little farther than he thought, but Mays tracks it down in front of the wall in center. Side retired. Bottom of the second, 1-0 60 decade team. 2 up for the 60s. Howard, Robinson, and Fregosi. Let me go to chat quickly. Clinton Parks has joined us. He says, hey, Beats, is this your guide over in Steam on Digital Diamond Baseball? Oh, maybe Beatles put up a guide. Beatles says the first part, yes, more to come, Clinton. Beatles, again, very knowledgeable baseball fan, as well as Clinton Parks. Cheers to everyone. Clinton Parks has a wonderful channel. Check that channel out. Clinton Parks, he's doing a lot of 1965 National Pastime 3. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Parks. Football as well. All right, Elston Howard will lead it off here against Lefty Grove. Dickey sets the target. Here's the pitch to Howard. And that is a dribbler down the towards short. Ackland gets there. It's going to be a bang play at first. And they got him. Good stretch by Garrick. So Luke Appling cut in front of Lindstrom. If Lindstrom had gotten to the ball, it probably would have been an infield hit. So good job by Luke Appling at short. 1 out, no one on for Brooks Robinson. Robinson getting his first start as as Ron Santo started at third in game 1. 287, 20 homers, 88 RBIs. Robinson awaits Lefty Grove's offering. Here's the pitch. Robinson swings. That ball is going out to left center field. Averill comes in and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down. And here's the shortstop, Jim Fregosi. Fregosi getting his first start at short. Aparicio started game 1. 274. 16 homers, 63 RBI. 7 out of 10 bunter. 2 outs, no one on. Bill Dickey wiggles the fingers. Lefty Grove nods his head. Here's the pitch to Fregosi. Fregosi swings, ground ball to Garrett. He dives from his knees, throws to Garrett. Out number 3, robbing Fregosi of a hit. Let's watch that web gem. Gehringer, right there. That extra step, dive from the knees, throws to Garrett. Go to the top of the third, 1-0, 60 decades team. Clinton Parks in the chat. I'll wait here first. Have what could be a decent 65 game coming up. Earl versus Phil Regan at Detroit. That sounds very good. What's Blazing in Sports joined us in the chat. Check out T-Dub, What's Blazing in Sports, for all your boxing needs. Another good friend of the channel. Cheers. Alrighty, due up for the 30-decade team, Appling, who just made a fabulous defensive play. Grove and Gehringer. Luke Appling, 0 for 4 in Game 1, 343, 4 home runs, 82 RBI. Right-handed batter, 7 out of 10 bunter. Since there's no outs, we're going to play our corners in. He might try to drop one down for a bunt base hit. So again, Robinson, that's Brooks Robinson, in at third. The baby bull, Orlando Cepeda, in at first. Bob Gibson is ready to work. He looks in. He'll pitch aggressively to Appling. Howard sets the target. Here's the pitch. Strikes him out. Swing and a miss. Set him up with a fastball. Got him with the off-speed pitch. One away, lefty Grove. Gibson will deal quickly to his counterpart. And Grove pops that ball up. Richardson, Cepeda both calling for it. Oh, it falls into no man's land. Unbelievable. Behind Richardson. And that's the first hit. Wow, lefty Grove just put one into, look, watch this. Miscommunication here by Richardson and Cepeda. And then it became a Three Stooges moment as everyone started looking at everybody. Ball drops in, lefty Grove. You know what? That's a single in tomorrow's box score. So 1 out, 1 on, top of the order. Charlie Gehringer, he is 0 for 1. Gibson takes a peek at first. Grove, 5 out of 10 base runner. Cepeda holding him on. Now he deals to Gehringer aggressively. He jams him. Let's see if Fregosi can catch the pop-up. He moves towards second base, and he catches it, and a mock cheer goes up from the 60s fans here at Camden Yards. So 2 outs. Grove will be off on contact, and Paul Wainer steps up plate. He's 0 for 1. Wainer fly to shallow center. Left-handed batter. Gibson rocks and fires. Wainer swings and misses, side retired. So the bottom of the third, 1-0 60 decade over the 30s. 2 up for the 60s. Gibson in the top of the order, Clemente and Richardson. Bob Gibson getting a start here in Game 2. He batted .214 with 2 home runs and 11 ribbies. In his year of choice, 1969. Lefty Grove deals to his counterpart. Gibson swings, and Gibson sends one to left. So tit for tat they go. Lefty Grove singles, and Gibson says, I can do you one better. I can actually get a real hit. They all count as a single, though. So Gibson's on first. Good athlete, 7 out of 10 base running ability. Lou Gehrig will hold him on. Here comes Roberto Clemente, 1 for 1. Clemente lined a single to right his first time up. We're going to play hit and run with Gibson at first. There goes Gibson. Clemente swings, and that ball goes up the middle. Gibson hits second base and heads for third. Hit and run worked to perfection by Roberto Clemente and Bob Gibson. Runners on the corners as the 60s decade team threatened to score another run here. And Bobby Richardson comes to plate. He's 0 for 1. We had a hit and run. He advanced Clemente to second base his first time out as he grounded to first. Lefty Grove's ready. Hit and run again. And Richardson's jam. That's going foul. Can Lou Gehrig make a play? He's going towards the stands. He reaches in. He cannot get it. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit and run still on. There goes Clemente. Richardson grounds it to Appling deep short. Gibson will go home. There goes Gibson. Appling to Gehringer. Clemente slides in pretty hard, and he breaks up the double play. RBI for Richardson, 2-0. 60 decade team. Good hard slide. Good hard nose baseball by Roberto Clemente. So 1 out, 1 on. Richardson, 6 out of 10 base runner being held on by Lou Gehrig. Frank Robinson steps up plate. Big Frank's 1 for 1. He singled, sending Clemente to third in the first inning. Richardson takes his lead. Lefty looks over. Here's the pitch to Frank Robinson. Robinson swings, sends that ball right center field. That's up, and away. It's gone! Robinson gets his 3rd home run of this series. That's a 2-run blast, and the 60s decade team is off and flying, just as in Game 1. It's now 4-0. Let's watch that majestic drive by Frank Robinson. All-time great. Lefty Grove did not fool him as that, again, crushes the ball, hits the Coke sign. I believe everyone gets a free Coke in the stadium, and there are a lot of happy fans right now. And there's Robinson, greeted by Richardson at the plate. Here comes Willie Mays to say, hey kid, can they go back-to-back jabs? Mays had a sacrifice fly in the first inning for a ribby. Lefty Grove needs to settle down and keep his 30-decade team in this game. Best out of 3. The 60s took game 1. This is an elimination game for Grove in the 30s. Here's the pitch to Mays. And he strikes out. Say, hey, kid goes back to the bench. 2 outs, base is empty for the baby bull. Orlando Cepeda fly deep to left in the first. Dickey wiggles the fingers. Lefty Grove nods his head. He kicks and fires. Cepeda. Check this swing. He rocks. So a 2-out walk for Cepeda keeps it alive for Elston Howard. He's 0 for 1. He grounded to short in the second inning. Cepeda will be off on contact. Lou Gehrig holding him on. Cepeda 7 out of 10 base runner. Howard digs in. He had 17 home runs. He's ready to grip and rep. Grove toes the rubber, peers in at Dickey. He deals to Howard. Howard swings, ground ball to Appling. And he boots it! Luke Appling boots the ball, and the inning stays alive on the E6. Cepeda is at second, Howard is at first, and here comes Brooks Robinson. He's 0 for 1. He flies to deep left center field. Runners will be off on contact. 2 outs, 4-0. Bottom of the third. Round 1, best of 3 in this playoff tournament. All-Decade World Series brought to you by Beatles Eternally. Here's the pitch to Brooks Robinson. Robinson swings, and that ball's going to get down to left center field. And Cepeda will score. Howard moves first to third, 5-0. And the 60s decade team bats have not cooled off since game 1. And here comes Jim Fregosi as the organist plays charge for the 60s decade team, and their fans are rocking and rolling here at Camden Yards. Fregosi 0 for 1. Grounded to second. Howard at third, Robinson at first. Here's the pitch to Fregosi from Lefty Grove. Fregosi sends it up the middle, Appling backhands it, fires the Lou Gehrig, side retired. But the 60s strike 4 times. We go to the top of the fourth, 5-0 1960s over the 30s. 2 up for the 30s. They got to get their bats going. Lou Gehrig, the Iron Horse, then Simmons and Dickey, if anyone gets on, Lindstrom to face Bob Gibson. Lou Gehrig is 0 for 1. He grounded to second. Let me quickly go to the chat. What's pleasant in sports? Keeping my nose above water, LOL. That is always a good thing, as we say, as the chat says. Beatles Eternally. Gibson and Grove both have really nasty tempers. Fun matchup here. Absolutely. Absolutely. And right now, Gibson is keeping the 30s bats at bay. The 1960s team is just, they're batting, they're hitting, just, they crushed them in game 1. And they're looking to crush them again here in game 2. Here's Lou Gehrig. Here's the pitch from Gibson. Gehrig swings, drives that ball to right field. Clemente going back, he looks up, it's gone! Lou Gehrig homers! And the 30s decade team is on the board. It's now 5-1. Let's watch that replay. A tremendous shot by the Iron Horse. All-time great, Lou Gehrig. Passed away too soon. There it is. Turns on that Gibson pitch, drives it out. Home run to right. As Clemente went back, and he looked up to watch. So 5-1. Can the bats keep rolling here? Al Simmons steps to plate. He's 0 for 1. He lined to center. That was a great surge of speed, Willie Mays, to make that catch. Here's the pitch to Simmons. Gibson pitching very aggressively. And oh my lord, back-to-back jacks! Simmons turns on that fastball, and it's 5-2. Elston Howard goes out to have a word with Gibby. Watch this shot. Good God Almighty. 2 crushing shots to lead off the inning for the 30s decade team. They're right back in it. They might have to mix up their pitches now as they're sitting on that fastball for Gibson. Here comes Bill Dickey. He's 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. Howard sets the target. Here's the pitch to Dickey, left-handed batting catcher. And that's a fly ball to center. Mays is right there, 1 away. So Gibson mixed up some pitches there. Didn't come with the fastball that Gehrig and Simmons crushed. So 1 out, no one on, and here's Lindstrom. Lindstrom had to sacrifice his first time up. Or walked, excuse me. Did he walk? He must have walked. Anyhow, he has no official at-bat yet. Gibson nods his head. The windup and the pitch to Lindstrom. Line shot to Clemente, and he makes the catch. Nice catch knee-high. So 2 outs, no one on. The 30s decade half struck twice. Home runs by Lou Gehrig and Al Simmons. And stepping to the plate, Earl Averill, the center fielder. He is 0 for 1. He flied to center. Gibson's ready to work. Nods his head. Here's the pitch to Averill. And that ball is going to the left center field gap. Robinson on the run, and Frank Robinson makes a great running catch, side retired. But the 30s decade team right back in it now. They only trail by 3 thanks to the homers by Lou Gehrig and Al Simmons. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 5-2 the 60s. 2 up for the 60s, Bob Gibson, and he's quite an angry man in that batter's box. He's 1 for 1. He'll be followed by Roberto Clemente and Bobby Richardson. Gibson singled in the 3rd. Lefty Grove deals to his counterpart. Gibson swings, sends that ball to center. Averill takes a couple steps back, makes the catch, out number 1. Roberto Clemente, top of the order. The right fielder's 2 for 2. He has singled twice. Looking for his 3rd hit. Dickey wiggles the fingers. Here's the pitch to Clemente. Clemente grounds it past Gehringer, and he's 3 for 3 as he singled to right center. Gehringer made a bid at it, but couldn't get to it. So Clemente's at first, 1 out, and here comes Bobby Richardson. Richardson's 0 for 2. We played hit and run twice with Bobby, and we're going to play for a 3rd time. There goes Clemente. Richardson swings, and backhanded by Lindstrom. He fires the Lou Gehrig bang bang play. And did they get him? Yes, they did. So 2 outs, Clemente's in scoring position. 5-2 lead for the 60s, and Frank Robinson steps to plate. Robinson having a tremendous series. Batting .500, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He singled in the 1st and then hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd. 433 feet. Can he do it again? Lefty Grove looks behind him. Gehringer trying to keep Clemente close. Clemente dancing off the bag. Here's the pitch to Frank Robinson. And Robinson works a walk. They pitch very carefully to Frank. But now you got a pitch against Willie Mays. In both of these lineups, there's no weak hitters, folks. Mays is 0 for 1. Sack fly in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. 2 outs, 2 on. Grove deals to the Say Hey Kid. Mays singles to left. Clemente hits 3rd base and scores. Mays goes sliding into 2nd. The throw not in time by Simmons. And it's 6-2. The 60s decade team gets one of those runs back that the 30s scored in the top of the 4th. Here comes the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda. 2 outs, 2 on. Robinson at 3rd, Mays at 2nd. Both runners in scoring position. Cepeda flied to deep left in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. Lefty Grove has to really bear down. His team trails by 4 in an elimination game. Grove deals to Cepeda. Cepeda swings, and that's going to get down to right center field. Robinson scores. Mays is going to be waved around, and 2 more runs score. The hit parade for the 60s continue as Orlando Cepeda's 2-out single produces 2 more RBIs. It is now 8-2, and that's it for Lefty Grove. He is KO'd in the bottom of the 4th. The new pitcher for the 30s decade team is Jack Russell. 6 wins, 10 losses, 2 saves, 4.40 earned run average, striking out 29, walking 37. Russell's year of choice, 1930. Elston Howard steps to plate. 60s decade catcher 0 for 2. He grounded to short in the 2nd, then grounded again to Appling, who booted the ball. So Howard has reached on an error. Cepeda being held on by Lou Gehrig. Russell is ready to work. He deals to Howard. Howard swings. That ball's going left center field. On the run is Averill, and he makes the catch, side retired. But after the 30s scored 2 with back-to-back homers from Lou Gehrig and Al Simmons, The 60s come right back in the bottom of the 4th. They score 3. We go to the top of the 5th. 8-2 60s. Let's go to the chat. Mr. Greg Gorecki has joined us. He says, Baby Bull! And he says hello to Beatles, and everyone's saying hello to everybody. Clayton Parks in the chat says, Lefty Grove was also one of the first... Oh, hold on. The chat moved up. Clinton Park says, Lefty Grove was also one of the first true flakes in baseball. Beatles says, LOL, and the first one was Rube Waddell, who played for the A's during the 1910s. Great pitcher. But if he heard a fire truck driving by the park, he would chase it. Oh! Anthony from Bleachers Bums Gaming will dispute you on that. Not that he wasn't a flake, but he actually never chased a fire truck. Good stuff going on in the chat. So, back to the ball game here. Top of the 5th, the 30's down 6. They need to get their bats going against Bob Gibson. So far, Gibson has gone 4 innings, 3 hits. He's given up those 2 home runs to Gehrig and Simmons. No walks, 3 strikeouts. Here's the pitch to Appling. Aggressive. And Appling sends that ball to right field. Clemente going back, reaches up, makes the catch at the track. 1 away. Here comes Russell, the pitcher. And he strikes him out, blows the fastball by him. Surprised that the pitcher hit. We have every player's eligible. There's like 40 guys on the roster, if not more. As the Red Sox have just homered in real life to get back in the ball game. As Hanley Ramirez homers. And he's pumping up the team. Yankees, Red Sox. So 2 outs. And Charlie Gehringer steps to play. He's 0 for 2. Lined out and popped out. Gibson's ready to work. Picks up the sign from Howard. Here's the pitch to Gehringer. And he plunked him. That's the second batter Gibson has hit. And I think he's sending a message. And Howard is ejected as he felt that Gehringer. What was he ejected for? He had some choice words with Gehringer. Howard's gone. Gehringer's still in the game. And we have to insert a new catcher. As Gehringer did say some words, so Howard held him back. Gibson was just staring at him at the mound, so Howard did an excellent job protecting his pitcher, and he is thrown out. Why Gehringer is not thrown out, I do not know. And we'll bring in a new catcher, and it's Bill Freehand, the only other catcher we have on the roster. So Bill Freehand will come in. 256, 14 homers, 64 RBIs. And his year of choice, 1968, which I'm playing a little bit in Stratomatic Baseball. So a little bad feelings between these two teams as Gibson just glares over at Gehringer at first. 95% chance of stealing. Gibson throws over. Cepeda applies the tag. And now Freehand and Waiter having some choice. What happened here? Oh, wow. Oh, wow, folks. What's going on here? So there's some words here. And Freehand goes back behind the plate as he had words with Wainer, then words with Gehringer on the pickoff attempt. So 2 outs. Gehringer at first, being held on by Cepeda. Here's the pitch to Wainer. And Wainer will send a shallow fly ball to center. Mays comes in and he makes his basket catch to the delight of the crowd for out number 3 to say, hey kid, doing it in style. We go to the bottom of the 5th and we have a brouhaha brewing. 8-2 60s decade team. Howard Russell answered another hit batsman by Bob Gibson. 2 up for the 60s. Brooks Robinson, Jim Fregosi, and Bob Gibson. Will they hit Gibby? Will they hit Gibby? That's the question. As Herb Pilgrim, a new subscriber to the channel, has entered the chat. How are you, Herb? Thank you very much, my friend. He said, for you guys interested in many of the odd old stories, oh good, old stories, like it, of old baseball, look for Take Me Out to the Ball Game by Timothy Baker. Baker Shut. I got it on audio from the library. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Herb. Glad you could join us. Hope everyone give Herb a warm welcome to our dysfunctional family here on Al Red Sox family, blah 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 blah, on Al Red Sox fan YouTube channel. FOC in the house, friends of the channel. More coffee. All right, so Robinson is 1 for 2. He's flown to deep left center, and then singled, knocking in Cepeda in the third. Russell deals to Robinson. Brooks Robinson grounds it to Gehrig. Gehrig waves off Russell, takes it to the bag himself, 1 away. Here comes Jim Fregosi. The shortstop is 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice, once to second, once to short. Dickey sets the target. Russell nods his head. Pitch comes homeward bound to Fregosi. Fregosi is jammed. He pops it up towards second base. Appling calls off Gehringer and makes the catch near the bag. 2 up, 2 down. And here comes Bob Gibson. Moment of truth. Bob Gibson has hit 2 1930 decade players. The last one, Gehringer, was none too pleased with it. Gehringer had choice words. Elston Howard held him back. Howard got thrown out of the game. Gehringer is still in the game. Here's Bob Gibson. Russell deals to his counterpart, Bob Gibson. They come inside. Gibson turns on the fastball and lines out to Appling. So Gibson was waiting for that fastball, and he turned on it, but he lines outside, retired, top of the 6th, 8-2, 60s over the 30s. Due up for the 30s, Lou Gehrig, Al Simmons, and Bill Dickey. Let me go to the chat real quick. As Clinton Park says, hello, Herb. Welcome to the Insane Asylum. According to many viewers in YouTube, we love this stuff. That's going to be my new catchphrase. I like it. Very good. Ooh, trivia question from Clinton Parks. In the first game in the 1967 World Series, who scored the only run for Boston and how? Who scored the only run for Boston and how? It was Gibson. Pitched game 1. Lonborg did not pitch game 1. Santiago. Did Santiago pitch game 1? I should know this. Elston Howard scored. I'm going to say it's Elston Howard because he's in the game. How he scored, I'm going to say wild pitch. That's what I'm going to say. Alright, back to the ball game here. Lou Gehrig 1 for 2. He homered in his last at-bat. Here's the pitch from Gibby to Gehrig. And Gehrig dribbles it to Richardson. Richardson comes charging in. Barehands it, throws to Cepeda. And they get Lou Gehrig 1 down. Here comes Al Simmons. He homered in his last at-bat as Lou Gehrig and Simmons went back-to-back jacks, thus the 2 runs in the top of the 4th, but the 60s decade answered with 3 in the bottom of the 4th and retook it. A big commanding lead. They lead 8-2. Bill Freehand behind the plate now. 9 out of 10 defense, 5 out of 10 arm. Gibson picks up the sign. Here's the pitch to Simmons. Simmons swings. Deep fly ball, right center field. Does he get his second one? Clemente goes back, and it's gone! Al Simmons has homered for a second time off Bob Gibson. And it's now 8-3. And if I'm Bill Dickey, don't get too close to that plate. Gibby's already nailed 2 batters. Bill Dickey, 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and fly to center. 1 out. Base is empty. Simmons just homered. Gibson deals to Dickey. Dickey swings, sends that ball left center field shallow. Mays moves over, makes the catch. He juggles it but holds on. To the applause of the 60s decade fans. 2 outs, base is empty for Freddie Lindstrom. He is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch. That's Gibson's first victim. And then line to right. Freehand goes through the signs. Gibson nods his head. The big windup and the aggressive pitch to Lindstrom. And Lindstrom drives that ball down the right field line. Clemente on the run, and he makes a fine running catch for out number 3. And guess who's leading it off? Roberto Clemente. That's the top of the order. He'll be followed by Bobby Richardson and Frank Robinson. Roberto Clemente is 3 for 3 today. He has 3 singles. 1 to right, 1 up the middle, and another one to right. Russell back out on the hill. Russell nods his head. Here's the pitch to Clemente looking for his 4th hit. And he sends that ball to center field. That's going to hold up for Averill, though. and he'll get to left center and make the catch, one away. Finally, Clemente's retired. Bobby Richardson comes up. He's 0 for 3, but it's not his fault. We've had hit and runs out all 3 times, and he's done his job. He's put the ball in play. No hit and run now. Base is empty. Bill Dickey goes through the signs. Jack Russell Terrier nods his head. He kicks and deals to Bobby Richardson. And Richardson singles to left center field. He takes a wide turn around first, but thinks better of it. Oh! He's going! 80% chance. There's the throw. Gallagher applies the tag. Not in time. So our little screen, which I don't show you, popped up. It's an 80% chance of turning into a double. He took it. He's at second with 1 out for Frank Robinson. And Frank Robinson, to say he's having a series is an understatement. He's batting .500, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Today, he is 2 for 2. He has singled and hit a 2-run blast that went 433 feet to right center. Richardson's in scoring position. Will Robinson get RBI number 8? We shall see. Here's the pitch to Frank. Robinson swings, dribbler down to Lindstrom, charges in, quick release to Gehrig with the stretch, bang bang play, and he's safe. He beats it out, gets his 3rd hit. Richardson does not advance. 1 out, 2 on for the say-hey kid, Willie Mays, who made that juggling catch in center. As again the Organist plays charge, revving up the 60s decade fans here at Camden Yards, where all the games are played. Mays 1 for 2. Sacrifice fly in the first, knocking in the first run, RBI. Struck out in the 3rd, then doubled, knocking in Clemente in the 4th. Richardson at 2nd, Frank Robinson at 1st. Good speed on the base pad. 30s decade team looking to turn 2 with Appling and Gehringer up the middle. Here's the pitch to the say-hey kid. Mays swings, and it is gone! A 3-run laser shot to center, no doubter. This 60s team has to be the odds-on favorite. They just mashed the ball, and it's now 11 to 3. Let's watch that shot. That was fired out of a cannon. Look at this howitzer. My God, out in a millisecond. As Mays rounds the bases, he's greeted at home plate by Richardson and Frank Robinson. And the 60s decade team is punching their tickets to round number 2 of this playoff tournament. Round 2 will be best out of 5. And again, this is the Beatles Eternally All-Decade World Series playoff tournament. Thank you, Beatles. And here's Orlando Cepeda with 1 out. He's 1 for 2. The baby bull fly deep to left, walk, and then single, knocking in Mays. Russell still out on the hill. He deals to Cepeda. Cepeda sends that ball deep right field. Wayne around the run in the corner. He makes the catch. 2 outs, base is empty. And Bill Freehan, who came in when Elston Howard was ejected for protecting his pitcher after Gibson hit his 2nd batter. I want to say it was Appling or Avery. Anyway, it was Gehringer. I'm sorry, the 2nd baseman. He hit Gehringer. Howard prevented him from going to the mound, and Howard was ejected. Why Gehringer is still in the game, I don't know. Here's the pitch to Freehan. First at bat, Freehan drives that ball deep. Al Sands on the run at the wall, reaches up and makes the catch, bangs into the wall, but holds on, side retired. Freehan gave it a bit. We go to the top of the 7th. My God, the 60s decade team with a commanding 8-run lead, 11 to 3 over the 30s. Bob Gibson has thrown 98 pitches. Gibby's been absolutely outstanding. Oh, that's how we do it. Bob Gibson, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs that have been earned. They've been 3 home runs. Lou Gehrig and Al Simmons has gotten twice. No walks, 4 strikeouts. Lefty Grove got beaten like a piñata. 3 2/3, 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned, 1 home run, 2 walks, 1 K. Russell's in there. He's pitched 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 home run, no walks, no Ks. So Bob Gibson, 98 pitches. He's good for 140. Looking for the complete game victory. He will face Averill, Appling, and Russell. Averill 0 for 2. Gibson deals quickly and aggressively to Averill. Averill lines a shot to deep center. Willie Mays makes the running catch. Unbelievable to say, hey kid, one away. And now bring up Luke Applin. The shortstop is 0 for 2. He has struck out to fly deep to right. Free hand goes through the signs. Gibby nods his head. He deals to Applin. Applin grounds it to Fregosi. Moves towards the second base bag. Quick throw to Cepeda. 2 up, 2 down. And it's up to the pitcher, Rip. They let him hit. Wow. Let me just click pitch. They're going to let him hit. He lines a shot to center field. And Mays is there. Side retired. They let Jack Russell in. I'm in shock, but they let him hit. Go to the bottom of the 7th, 11 to 3. This is an elimination game for the 30s decade team. Due up for the 60s. Again, an 8-run lead. Game well in hand. Tickets are being punched as we speak to the second round. Best of 5 World Series playoff tournament. Beatles Eternally All-Decade World Series tournament. Thank you, Beatles, once again. Robinson, Fregosi, and Gibson. Let me go to the chat. As Clinton Parks says, coffee break. Greg Gorecki says it was Santiago, if I remember correctly. Oh. Greg Gorecki says it was not Howard out. Okay. Did we get the answer yet? No, we have not. Alright, so Mr. Gorecki, to Clinton Parks' trivia question, who scored the only run for the Red Sox Game 1 of the 67 World Series and how? Greg Gorecki says it was Santiago. Oh, it's a 7th inning stretch, and Beatles Eternally says, Al, you forgot to sing. Alright, we gotta sing. We gotta sing. There we go. This will ruin every subscriber who will unsubscribe to me. Here we go, 7th inning stretch for our good friends in the chat, and also Stratomatic Delaware, Bleacher Bums Gaming with Anthony, Stratomatic Delaware with Chris, and Clinton Parks, who has joined us. Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever go back for its root for the home team. If they lose, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes are out at the old ball game. Health and happiness, folks. Play ball. Thank you for reminding me, Mr. Beatles. So Clinton Parks now says, how did he score? Greg Gorecki says pass ball. I'm going to go with my phone-a-friend Greg Gorecki and agree. Here's Brooks Robinson, 1 for 3. He's flied to deep center, single to left, knocking in Howard, and grounded to first. Russell's still on the mound. I was surprised they didn't pinch hit for him. He deals to Brooks Robinson. Robinson swings, and he singles to center, drops in front of Averill. Another hit by the 60s decade team, who now have 13 hits to go with their 11 runs. Jim Fregosi steps to the plate. The shortstop's 0 for 3. 9 out of 10 bunter. We're going to let him swing away. Garrick holding Robinson on at first. Again, 30s decade team looking to turn 2 with Appling and Gehringer up the middle. Here's the pitch of Jim Fregosi. Fregosi held up. Check swing, ball 4. First 2 runners are on. And here comes Bob Gibson. Corners move in. Will they hit Gibby? Gibby's choking up on that bat. He's swinging away. Dickey sets the target. Russell deals. Gibson swinging a miss. Strike 3. Top of the order. 1 out, 2 on for Roberto Clemente. Is 3 for 4. He has 3 singles. He was finally retired in his last at-bat when he flew to deep center. Robinson takes his lead at second. Fregosi at first. Again, the 30s decade team looking to turn 2 with Appling and Gehringer up the middle. Dickey goes through the signs. Russell nods his head. The windup, the pitch to Roberto Clemente. And Clemente dribbles it. Appling comes charging in. Fires to Gehrig for the out. The only play was the first. So 2 outs. Brooks Robinson at third. Jim Fregosi's at second for Bobby Richardson. The second baseman's 0 for 4. Base hit will score 2 for Fregosi. A pretty good base runner. 7 out of 10 at second base. And there's 2 outs. He'll be off on contact. Richardson awaits the Russell offering. Here's the pitch, homeward bound. Richardson swings, and that ball is single to left. 1 run scores, and here comes Fregosi around third. 2 runs score, 13-3. Bobby Richardson gets on the board in a big way with his first hit, a 2-out single, knocking in 2. The 60s have a field goal, have 2 field goals and a touchdown, while the 30s have only been able to muster 3 points, as they've only kicked one through the upright once. Here comes Frank Robinson. Robinson in line for the MVP of this series. Robinson batting .555, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He's 3 for 3 today. He is singled in the first, 2-run homer in the third, walked in the fourth, and infield single in the sixth. Russell deals to Robinson. Robinson swings, sends that ball to Simmons in left. He makes the catch, and finally Robinson is retired. We go to the top of the 8th. The 60s still scored another 2 in the bottom of the 7th. They now lead by 10, 13-3. Gibson still on the mound, 107 pitches. He'll face the top of the 30s decade team, Gehringer, Wainer, and Gehrig. They are 6 outs from being eliminated. Gibson and the 60s are 6 outs from going to round 2. Here's the pitch to Gehringer, who Gibson hit his first time. Line shot for Fregosi, makes the catch, and then points at Gehringer. 1 away. There's still some chippiness. And here comes Paul Wainer. He is 0 for 3. Freehand sets the target. Gibson deals to Wainer. Wainer dribbles it to Richardson. He has it. Fires a strike to Cepeda for out number 2. So only that brief hiccup with the back-to-back homers in the 4th, and then the homer again by Al Simmons in the 6th. Have produced fruit for the 1930s decade team. 2 outs, base is empty. Lou Gehrig. Gehrig has homered once. He's batting .375, 1 homer, 3 RBIs in the tournament. Grounded out in the first, solo homer in the 4th, grounded out to second in the 6th. Here's the pitch to the Iron Horse, Lou Gehrig. Gehrig sends that ball right center field. Could that be up and away? And it's high off the wall! He just missed home run number 2. Mays retrieved it and fired it back in towards Richardson. So a 2-out double for Lou Gehrig. And here comes Al Simmons, and what a day he's having. The only bright spot, Simmons and Gehrig offensively for the 30s decade team. Simmons, 2 for 3. He has 2 solo shots. 1 in the 4th, 418 feet. 1 in the 6th, 377 feet. Can he get home run number 3 off Gibson? Gibson, grim determination on that mound. Wants to show Simmons he's the boss. Freehand sets the target. Here's the pitch to Al Simmons. Simmons swings. Shallow fly ball. Mays makes the running catch in center side. Retired. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 13-3. The 60s decade over the 30s. 2 up. The Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays. Then the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda. Then Bill Freehand, the catcher. Russell still back out on the mound. Mays has 5 RBIs today. Outstanding. Here's the pitch to Mays. Mays swings, and that's a shot to left center field. Mays takes a wide turn but goes back to first. Actually, he's going to go to second. And he's out! So, Mays saw the ball get by Appling. Russell fielded it. We had a 71% chance of Mays being safe. Russell quickly pounced on the ball, fired to Gehringer, who applied the tag on Willie Mays. 1 down, so he'll be credited with a single, but then being thrown out at second. Here's Orlando Cepeda, 1 for 3. Here's the pitch to the baby bull. Cepeda swings, line shot, center. Averill makes the catch. Hit it hard, but right at the center fielder, Averill. 2 outs, base is empty. Bill Freehand, who entered the game when Elston Howard was ejected, when there was a brouhaha between Howard and Gehringer after Gibson plunked his second batter for the 30s decade team, Gehringer. Here's the pitch to Freehand. And Freehand singles to left, keeps the inning alive. For Brooks Robinson, the human vacuum cleaner's 2 for 4. He has flown deep to left center, singled in the 3rd, grounded out to first in the 5th, and singled to center in the 7th. Freehand 5 out of 10 base running ability. Lou Gehrig holding him on. He'll be off on contact. Here's the pitch to Robinson. Brooks swings, sends that ball right center field and deep. And it's high off the wall. Averill will get to it. Freehand will be waved around. 94% chance of scoring. He scores. And Robinson has a 2-out double. And the 60s decade team now has scored 2 touchdowns. They lead 14-3. And Jim Fregosi, who caught that line shot by Gehringer, and then had some choice words for the 30s decade second baseman. Not happy that he wanted to charge the mound against Bob Gibson. Not caring that he got a hit. Let's see how they treat Fregosi. Here's the pitch to Jim. Fregosi swings and he goes to left center field. Robinson should score on this. 99% chance he's being waved around. He will score as they throw to third as the hit parade and beating continues. The beating that the 60s decade team is putting on the 30s decade team, who are now going to be crushed in 2 consecutive games and out of the playoff tournament. And here's Bob Gibson, 1 for 4. Let's see if they whack him. Fergosi's at first. Here's the pitch to Gibby. Gibby swings, drives that ball left center field. Looking up is Averill. He leaps and he bats it on the wall. He makes the catch. Side retired, but once again, 2 more runs are tacked on the board by the 60s decade team. They lead 15-3. Bob Gibson looking for the complete game victory and annihilation of the 30s. They'll face Dickey, Lindstrom, and Averill. Gibson, 115 pitches, still strong. Bill Dickey 0 for 3. Here's the pitch to Dickey. Line shot, up the middle, drops in front of Mays. He played it safely. Lead-off single, and here comes Lindstrom. Lindstrom's 0 for 2. Cepeda will play behind Bill Dickey. Freehand sets the target. Gibson nods his head. Here's the pitch to Lindstrom. And Lindstrom lines a shot. Fregosi makes the diving catch, robbing a hit up the middle. What a play by Jim Fregosi. 1 down. Let's watch that wonderful play by Fregosi. Line shot headed for center field. I think not. Fregosi diving catch. 1 out. Dickey at first. And here comes Earl Averill, the center fielder's 0 for 3. Double play ends the ball game and ends the playoff run of the 30s decade team. The lights go off on a double play. Gibson deals with the fastball. And that ball is going to Robinson in left. He moves to left center, makes the catch. 2 down, 1 out away. Punch those tickets to round 2, folks. And here comes Luke Appling. The shortstop's 0 for 3. Gibson wants that ball. He wants to work quickly. Here comes the fastball to Appling. Line shot. Robinson will make the diving attempt. And he does not make the catch. He smothers the ball. It gets away from him. Dickey goes to third. Rounding second, going to third, and heading into second is Appling. So Robinson made the bid to end the game. And if Russell comes up, if they let him hit, the computer needs to be drug tested. Nope. They finally go to a pinch hitter, only a gazillion guys on the bench. They go to Johnny Frederick, 333, 20 homers, 68 RBIs. In his pinch hitting opportunity in game 1, he was 0 for 1. Gibson, 123 pitches, 2 outs, 2 on. Here's the pitch to Frederick. Freehand goes out to have the word first, sets the target behind the plate now. And he walked Frederick. Gibby up to 128 pitches, bullpen action. Gibby might be tiring. And here comes Gehringer. This is what we wanted to see. The man he plunked, who almost charged the mound. Gibson salivating for this opportunity to get back at Gehringer. How dare he try to charge the mound. Bases loaded, 2 outs, no place to put Charlie Gehringer. Gibson wants to put his ass back on the bench. The windup, the pitch, here comes a fastball. Freehand has a quick word again. God, that throws me out of rhythm. Gehringer's jammed. It's a pop-up. Fregosi on the outfield grass, calling for it. He makes the catch. Ball game over. The 1960 decade team annihilates the 30s in 2 crushing victories over them and crushing defeats for the 30 in this game, 15-3, as Gibson just stares down Gehringer as Gehringer goes back to the dugout along with the rest of his 30 decade teammates. as there's a celebration on the field going to round 2, the 1960 decade team. My God, they crushed the 30s in 2 games. So let's get the box score up and call it a stream. Let's go to the pitching first. But before we do that, say thank you to the wonderful people in the chat. It wasn't much of a ball game. We saw a lot of home runs. The 60s decade team crushed the 30s decade team. Absolutely destroyed them in 2 games. I want to say thank you to Clinton Parks. Check out his wonderful channel. Thank you to Greg Gurecki, our good friend from Canada. Beatles Eternally, who has brought us this wonderful All-Decade World Series by gifting me the file from Action PC. That's absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Beatles. Also, thank you to What's Blazing in Sports T-Dub for all your boxing needs. Check out that channel. And thank you to our new friend, Herb Pilgrim. Thank you for being a subscriber and joining in. Hope you enjoyed it, Herb. And who else do we have in here? Max Cornelius, as always, good friend of the channel. Check out his channel. And I think we got everybody. So Beatles Eternally, Max Cornelius, Clinton Parks, What's Blazing in Sports with T-Dub, Herb Pilgrim, Greg Gurecki, and I think we got everyone. And we did. And if I missed you, I apologize. I went up and down twice. Pete Easy! Pete Easy in the house. How are you, my friend? I was just thinking about you, Pete, the other day when I was scanning by your channel. You haven't streamed in a while. Hope all is well. Herb Pilgrim says, that was great. Thanks, Al. If it's legal for rabid Yankee fans to attend, I'll check it out whenever I can. Absolutely. Everyone's welcomed here. D. Scott Howard comes in late. We will call him safe, though. Safe at the plate, D. Scott Howard. How was your walk tonight, my good friend? Pete Easy, check out that channel. I subscribe to Pete. He's a big Game of Thrones fan. Plays some video games, but he loves to talk Game of Thrones, and he's on a lot of other channels on panels. Him and Broke Black Man 94, another wonderful, along with Johnny Indie Boots, Phil the Issues Guy, and JD. Pete Easy in the house. Good to see you, my friend. All right, let's go to the box score. Oh, Pete Easy says, I know, I need your help with a new game I'm streaming. Oh, cool. I like the help. Excellent. What game is it, Pete? I'm going to go through the box score and go back to the chat, because I think Clinton Parks is going to be doing a game. So if you want, I'm going to go over it. Clinton, are you going to do a game? I think you said you had a 65 game coming up. As Beatles Eternally says, House of Stark Forever. We got to do a Game of Thrones. Well, we kind of did that with Chat with Al last week. We went all over the place. That's amazing. I get my most views for that. It's like a train wreck, but it's fun. And I mean like a train wreck where no one gets hurt. I'm not making light of that, so please, all you PC police people, chill out. All right, Lefty Grove took the loss. He was awful. 3 2/3, 9 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned, 1 home run, 2 walks, 1 K. Russell came in. I thought they would pinch hit for him, but they let him hit twice. Again, that's the computer managing. He finally got pinch hit for in the 9th. He went 4 1/3. 9 hits, 7. It's not like he pitched stellar. 7 runs, all earned, 1 home run, 1 walk, 1 K. The 60s decade team, led by Frank Robinson, MVP of the series, annihilated the 30s in 2 games. And I chose the 60s decade team. Normally I play the old, and I love Lou Gehrig and some of those, but they have so many fun players on the 60s decade team. Mays, Robinson, Yastrzemski, who doesn't even, he pinch hit in game 1. Oh my God, just go through Cepeda. God, Brooks Robinson, Aparicio, Fregosi. So many good. Elston Howard, Freehand. So I think I will continue. Well, I got to see what the matchup is. We're going to look at that in a second. Gibson went the distance. He got the win. Bob Gibson, absolutely outstanding. On this staff, you have Gibson, Koufax, Marichal, who pitched Game 1 in the next series. Unbelievable. And a Drysdale. You're not going to beat these guys. This is the best team, I think. This is my opinion. I could be wrong. They could go out in the next, but unbelievable. Gibson, 9 innings. He gets the win. 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 of them earned. They were all home runs. Lou Gehrig got him for 1, and Al Simmons got him twice. 1 walk, 4 Ks. Didn't have a lot of Ks, and almost a brouhaha when he hit Gehringer. That was a second base runner, batter he hit. Gehringer had some words, wanted to charge him out. Elston Howard doing his JOB, as they say, as a catcher. He stopped that nonsense. And Howard was thrown out, but Gehringer stayed in. And then Freehand almost got into a brouhaha. So it was a really interesting, fun game. Let's go to the batting. Gehringer, 0 for 4. Wayner, 0 for 4. So the top of the first 2 batters, top of the order, 0 for 8. Lou Gehrig, 2 for 4. 1 run, 1 RBI, 1 home run. And he had a double. Lou Gehrig, he died too young. Al Simmons, 2 for 4. 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 round trippers. As we had 3 up and aways like a beautiful balloon. Bill Dickey, 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Lindstrom, 0 for 3. Averill, 0 for 4. Appling, 1 for 4, a strikeout and a double. Grove was 1 for 1. He had a mix-up bloop hit. When everyone looked at everyone, it was a Three Stooges moment. The ball dropped in behind the second baseman and the first baseman in right field. Cepeda and Richardson. Russell, the pitcher, actually I was in shock. They let him bat twice, and he was 0 for 2. Frederick, the pinch hitter, he walked. In defeat, and a crushing defeat in both of these games, where they crushed twice the 30s decade team. 34 at-bats, 3 runs, 7 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 walk. They struck out 4 times, 2 doubles, and 3 homers. Now for the 60 decade team who have punched their ticket to round 2 in the best of 5 coming up. This was a best of 3. They sweep the 3-game set, 2 games to none. Clemente, 3 for 5, 2 runs scored. Bobby Richardson, after we had him hit and run 3 times, and he did what he was supposed to do, move the runner over, put the ball in play. He ended up going 2 for 5, 2 runs, 3 RBIs with a double. Frank Robinson, the MVP of the series, went 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Willie Mays, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 5 RBIs, 1 walk, 1 double, and a home run, as well as Frank Robinson had a home run. Cepeda, 1 for 4, with a run scored, 2 RBIs, and a walk. Elston Howard, 0 for 3, then he got kicked out of the game for defending his pitcher, which he did the right thing, defending his pitcher and his teammate. Freehand, 1 for 2 with a run scored. He came in when Howard got kicked out of the game. And Robinson, Brooks Robinson, 3 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, 1 double. Jim Fregosi, 1 for 4, and played stellar defense at short. 1 run, 1 RBI, 1 walk. And Bob Gibson, 1 for 5 with a run scored and a strikeout. The 60s decade team, 41 at-bats, 15 runs, 18 hits, 15 RBIs, 3 walks, 2 doubles. 2 Ks, 3 doubles, no triples, 2 home runs. Outstanding. We're not going to go through the whole litany or the recap of how they scored. I'll be here another half hour, and I know Clinton Parks wants to play. And I don't blame him. Ejected, Howard. MVP of the game, Willie Mays, but MVP of the series, Frank Robinson. Left on base, the 30s decade team. They had their opportunities. They left 7 runners on base. The 60s left 6. Great plays. Gehringer 1, Fregosi 1, and Mays with a sacrifice fly. So once again, well, we'll go to recap and just go to the. We're not going to go through the whole thing, but towards the bottom they have the players who did very well. For the 30s decade team, as I stated, Al Simmons 2 for 4, 2 homers, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Lou Gehrig 2 for 4, a double and a home run. Willie Mays 3 for 4, a double, a home run, 5 RBIs, player of the game, and 2 runs scored. Frank Robinson 3 for 4, he won the MVP of the series. Home run, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Brooks Robinson 3 for 5, a double, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. Roberto Clemente 3 for 5, 2 runs scored. Gibson gets the win. Lefty Grove the loss. It's Al Red Sox fan saying thank you very much. But before we go, let's take a look at the matchup, as I already forgot. So once again, punching their ticket to round 2, the 60s over the 30s, 15-3. And I believe I closed this. And now... Oh no, not responding. Don't poop out, game. I haven't saved yet. Don't do it. There we go. Okay. Alright, I want to. It's still spinning the wheel. Spinning the wheel. Spinning the wheel. Okay. That's good. We don't want the game to poop out. Let's go playoff game. We'll take a look. Let me just bring this up on the screen for you. Bear with me a moment. So here's round 2 coming up. And hopefully you can see that. I think you should see that. Yeah, it fits the screen, so you should see that. Alright. So in round 2, we have the 1980 decade taking on the 2000s. I'm going to play as the 80s. Then we have the 1910 taking on the 1800s. I'm going to play as the 1800s, I guess. And the teams that got the buys into round 2, which was purely just me picking teams, the 2000s had the buy into round 2, the 1800s, the 20s, and the 50s. So, we have 80 versus the 2000s. I'm going to play as the 1980s. I'm going to play as the 1800s against the 1910 decade. Oh, wow, the 60s versus the 20s. That's going to be a good one. I'm going to still play as the 60s. I want to play as that team. I might change my mind. I should be playing as the older teams. That's what I originally started off with. But the 60s have so many fun players. And then we have the 70s versus the 50s. God, I like the 70s too. But I'll play as the 50s. So that's their matchup. And it's a best of 5 round 2. Round 3 would be best of 7. The championship round 7. This is an ongoing thing brought to you by myself and Beatles Eternally. The Beatles Eternally All-Decade World Series Playoff Tournament. So once again, Al Red Sox fan saying thank you very much. Clinton Park says 50s versus 70s would be seriously tough. Pete Easy. I want to see what game he's going to play. As Pete Easy has subbed to Clinton Parks. Thank you very much as we support one another. And I suggest check out Pete Easy's channel and give him some love. Wonderful person. Everyone I follow is nice people. I'm probably the worst person in this community. Doesn't make me a bad person, though. I just get aggravated. And I tend to lean conservative, but good heart. Look, Pete Easy. This is a cool approach. Yeah, Beatles Eternally. Super Mega Baseball. I have that. I haven't played that yet. Oh, yeah, we got to check that out, Pete. That's going to be fun. They came out with number 2. All right, well, I blabbered enough. As Beatles says, it's time to call it a stream. Take care, all. It's late here. I tip my cap to the good friends in the chat. I shall all see you soon. Till next time, health and happiness. Take care. Bye-bye. God bless. Don't swing at the curveball in the dirt. Watch out for that big left hook. Support the friends of the channel by checking out their channels. Okay? Alright? We have to support one another as a community. We do sports. They might do TV and movies. Doesn't matter. We gotta... The cream will rise to the crop. The better people. Okay? Let's support one another. And as always, peace!